Subs are up around wafer here. So is Lost Ark truly pay to win? My opinion right now with the game, yes, it is completely pay to win. But does it mean that the game is trash? No, definitely not. Because there are multiple levels of pay to win. There's the side of, is it only PvE? Is it only PvP? Is it combined? Or are the advantages too insane? Now we're gonna react to this video. Lost Ark is a pay to win made by Legacy Gaming. I'm gonna pause in between so I can give my opinion and stuff like that. And let's go on for reaction.
Bottom line, Lost Ark has numerous pay-for-convenience features. There's no beating around that bush. First up, we have to understand the various currencies within the game. At the bottom of the list, we have silver, something every player will have access to simply by playing the game. Completing quests is the primary way to get silver, but engaging in some of the other endgame activities, whether it be vertical or horizontal content, will also most likely net you some silver. Silver is abundant and something most players won't think twice about, especially at tier 1. The content
you are basically getting thrown at with silver the entire time. Not
being shipped at launch in the NA EU. Now, one step up that ladder is gold, and this is still an in-game currency.
Tricky stuff because you need to do quests and stuff like that.
But a bit more exclusive. Gold is used primarily as a way to interact with the auction house, a means to an end when it comes to moving goods between players. As we progress further into the expanded world of Lost Ark, gaining access to new tiers, gold will become even more valuable, as it'll be used to upgrade our gear via the honing system, as well as repair our higher tier life skill tools. It's a valuable currency and arguably one of the most precious in the game, and the primary way to get it is just by playing the game, and that's definitely a good thing in the context of this conversation. Certain quests, dungeons, and of course, if you master the auction house, will net you gold, and it'll start rolling in at a fast clip. Gold has been the source of some issues on the Korean server. We'll talk about that.
That's the thing I'm worrying about because of botting and stuff. I hope they can fix it because every free-to-play has a massive botting problem. And that's the thing I look out for. Not necessarily that the game itself has this insane pay-to-win mechanics, but that third-party websites are abusing it to such an extreme level. Like in World of Warcraft. That was insane. And you need to pay a subscription for WoW plus expansions. That's so stupid, man.
In just a bit. Now here's where things start to get tricky. Crystals. This is technically a premium currency you can purchase from the in-game store. At least you can earn it during the open beta. I doubt that's going to change, so I'm going to assume that's still the case come launch. Crystals can be spent to purchase a number of things, like Phoenix Plumes.
Yeah, the self-reses. I don't like the instant res that you can pay for that. That's something that bugs me a bit, but...
Also known as Resurrection Feathers. They can also be used to purchase instant complete Una's task tickets. They can also be used to purchase a 30-day premium currency called the Crystalline Aura. This is really where our conversation about pay to win and pay for convenience begins to take shape. Money,
yeah, this is still just PvE convenience stuff, so
buys crystals, crystals buys benefits, things that make your life easier within the game. That's the very definition of pay for convenience, but according to the developers, crystals will also be earned by playing the game. The real issue here at this point ahead of launch is that we don't know how to get crystals within the game. On the Russian servers, they give away a ton of items through login rewards and bonus events, but will that be the case on the NA EU servers at launch? It's hard to say, but my money is on yes. If that's the case, then that still creates an issue because you can't control the method of getting crystals. It's dictated by simply logging in and waiting for that reward to come up. It's no better than a battle pass in that sense. The real sticking point will be if we can log in and partake in some activity somewhere in the world of Arcasia to let us build up our crystal reserves on our own. Yeah, you may be of the mindset that...
I think it's going to be the same on the EU or NA servers. No problem at all.
It doesn't really matter. A couple crystals and a few perks don't really make the game pay to win. But here's where things get a bit weird. Mari's Secret Shop. This is a rotating collection of items that can be purchased as part of the store for crystals. Items include things like leapstones and fragments, as well as other items that you'll need to upgrade your gear, giving you access to more challenging content. Can you get these items by playing the game? Yes, but they're the main progression choke point, so simply put, you can pay for convenience.
Yes.
Keep in mind, Mari's shop also plays an important role in regulating a server's economy. A whale can swoop in, spend a ton of cash, and disrupt the auction house entirely, specifically in regards to upgrade items. Well, now players have an avenue outside of earning the items in-game to purchase upgrade materials at a regulated price. It may not sway your opinion on the items being there in the first place, but there is a purpose behind its existence. The final currency, Royal Crystals, is the only currency that will be exclusively gained.
Yeah, this was just for cosmetic and stuff, but you can turn them into the normal crystals, I think.
By paying real-world money.
Yeah.
Across the board, Royal Crystals are used for cosmetic items and things like character name changes. But they're also used to buy crystals, which we just established can be used to buy upgrade materials. I don't think you can really make the argument that pay for convenience isn't in this game. It was present right from the jump with the open beta, but you can make the argument that it really doesn't matter. One of the real reasons why pay to win is such an issue in games like this often comes down to PvP. In Lost Ark, your gear in PvP is equalized. At least that's how it is on the Korean
Okay, that's great. If it's completely equalized, no problem. No problem.
servers. There were some patch issues on the Russian side of things that made gear a factor for a while, but there's no reason to believe that things would go backwards for the NA-EU patch. Never say never, but equalized stats mean a fair playing field, thus totally negating any idea that you're paying for an edge. On the PvE front, yes, things look a bit different. If you can pay for upgrade materials, it means you're going to have access to additional pieces of content sooner rather than later, and it overall cuts down on how much you have to grind. But
yeah, it just makes your progression faster if you pay. Like, you want to go through the entire game in an instant, just pay for it. If not, play and enjoy it. Like, that's how I see
the
it.
question, does that really matter? Will someone paying be further along than someone not paying? Possibly, but at the end of the day,
Not like in an unfair shooter where you just can buy like much more valuable weapons. And these things influence PvP a lot. I hate that stuff. So yeah, that's still good.
that advantage is pretty minuscule. If you combine all of the benefits that you can pay for that
Like,
we know of
nearly
in the
every
NA,
game right now is pay to
including
win.
the crystalline aura, upgrade materials, maybe some Una's task tickets, yes, you're going to save yourself time, and time is money in MMOs. A player spending that money will have more time to do other things because they cut corners, but the player that didn't spend the money can still do those same things. It might just take a beat longer. To be completely honest, the pay to win and pay for convenience conversation often boils down to your own viewpoint. There are hard facts, things we can't argue. In this case, yes, you can pay real money for a special currency called Royal Crystals. But on the other hand, how you choose to feel about what you can use them on is a spectrum, one that seems to go from apathy, someone that doesn't care and never will, to the folks that like to blow up our comments with outrage and ignorance. I definitely understand the issue. Monetization in games has continued to be a growing issue. With the global conversation currently dealing with NFTs in games, it makes sense that the lines are starting to blur. What I will say is this: Smilegate, the developers of Lost Ark, and Amazon Game Studios, the publishers, are working together to make Lost Ark more palatable in the West. They've outlined their philosophy on the website in a lengthy blog post, and the company behind the game, again, Smilegate, not Amazon, want to make sure that's clear, has a proven track record of changing the game even if they lose profits. In an almost
That's great. That's dedication, man.
famous moment for the game, the company addressed the gold issue plaguing the Korean servers, something that's been going on since March 2021. The TLDR is that crystals could be purchased with gold, and that was causing issues based on a number of factors. The major change was taking crystals out of the equation to help fix one aspect of that issue. The real shocking part was that the director admits the change would cost the company 17% of their total sales figures.
But that's an insane change. You can completely farm that stuff now.
Huge admission, and a decision most companies wouldn't make, sacrificing profit for community perception. One
Damn.
incident in a vacuum doesn't hold much water, but it is important to remember when companies do things right, as it helps build trust and confidence that they'll continue to do the right thing in the future. Just
That's
something to keep in mind.
That gains my trust.
I told you guys I didn't want to
like
make this
Blizzard.
video super long. It doesn't need to be, and as of late, our content has been getting a bit beefy, so it's time to dial it back and go straight for the jugular. Lost Ark has various pay-for-convenience features, things that some players will find cross some imaginary line, while others completely ignore. PvP is
Damn.
entirely disassociated from the issue, and PvE is always going to come down to skill, so who's really gaining the benefits from having a lot of cash? The game is far from pay to win. I think we should reserve our witch hunt for the next terrible mobile game a AAA developer tries to force feed us, but there
Diablo
are ways to
Immortal,
cut
Diablo
corners
Immortal.
if you so choose. Of course, this is an MMO. Things evolve, things change, and over here in North America and Europe, we're about to take our first bite of content. Things are going to be different 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5 years from now, so keep an open mind. Ultimately, the decision is up to you, and after hundreds of hours with the game across the beta, PTR, and Russian servers, I have still not opened up my wallet, not once, to pay for a single thing, and I'm still just as in love with the game as I was the first time I fired it up. Hopefully this helps at least clarify some of the issues swirling around the community, but I'd love to know your thoughts. If you have something constructive that you want to add to the conversation, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below. And of course, don't forget, Legacy Gaming is going to have a huge presence within the game. Our Discord community is now well over 2.
Okay, subscribe to Legacy Gaming and to me as well. Thank you for watching. But first of all, let's talk about this for a bit. I'm truly surprised. It's just paid to convenience. It's boosting the PvE experience if you don't have time on your hands. And the company even did something which hurt the gains on the game, the money gain. And that's something respectable to do, because you would never see that something from Blizzard side. Never. Not until Microsoft completely absorbs it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Wafer out.